Okay, somebody just sent me a video of the ladies of the View talking about the indictment of Sean Puffy Combs. And I got a bone to pick with Miss Sunny. Okay, but before I do that, let me just put out here right now. I'm gonna preface this by saying I have mad respect and love for those ladies. I think they're brilliant women. But on this issue, with Sunny making her comment, straight up wrong, just wrong, on every single freaking accord. And the reason for that is that Sonny is an attorney. She went to law school. I think she was a practicing attorney. I think she might even have been a district attorney at some point. I don't really know her history. But aside from that, she mentioned about this indictment that he was charged with having committing sexual misconduct on a minor child or minors. There is no way in this indictment that says that. Nothing. Okay, I actually looked at that indictment, and I looked at the indictment before I got the video. And when I looked at the indictment, I had to go back. I had to go back and say, was he charged with something with minors? And when I went back, the word minor is not even mentioned in the indictment, let alone a charge about sexual misconduct concerning minors. This is just not accurate information. Then she goes on to say if she was representing him, she would tell him to take a plea. Why would you tell somebody to take a plea when you don't even have the evidence? What kind of attorney would tell their client to take a plea and you don't even know what the evidence is going to present? Let me just tell you something. When I was in law school, there was a saying that says you can indict a ham sandwich, which means that indictment can look like hell and high water all day long. But if you don't have the evidence, that doesn't mean that you take a plea. But more importantly, stuff in the grand jury, that stuff can be put in there and you can't use a lot of stuff at trial. So you can get an indictment based on hearsay, based on a whole bunch of stuff that could never be presented in court. So why would an attorney tell their client to take a plea before you even have the evidence? But the biggest thing, man, the biggest thing in this country, whether you agree with the criminal justice system, whether you think the criminal justice system needs some work, that it's imbalanced, that there's disparate treatment, we in America, as a defendant, have the right and the presumption of innocence before you are guilty. This is dangerous, in my opinion, to spread this news to the public that if he were your attorney, that you would tell him to take a plea. And the reason why this is dangerous is that you have already said this man is guilty. And by virtue of telling this man is guilty, people that are potentially jury members are going to hear that. We already know that the jurors that are likely going to be picked for this trial is going to be hard as H-E-double hockey stick because most people hear about this. But to hear someone of reputable reputation like they are, they might start to think he's guilty too. That is why this is dangerous. To say the least, this pissed me off. Okay? Anyway, that's just my opinion. I wanted to just come out here and tell you guys, even when it comes to me, do your own research, do your own homework. Don't just listen to somebody simply because they have a reputable reputation, that they appear to be smart, or that they have the credentials. You must do your own research because there is, as I said before, I know I'm repeating myself, but it bears repeating. He is not charged with anything concerning minor children. Okay, that's not what that indictment says. Second thing is, you never take a plea before you get evidence. That is foolishness. If an attorney just tells their client to take a plea before they actually get the evidence, I think that is wrong on every accord. There is no way in my mind that I could actually imagine an attorney to do that, unless, of course, the client says that's what he want to do. And aside from that, the right to take a plea, guess who that belongs to? It belongs to the defendant. It doesn't belong to the attorney. It doesn't belong to the judge. It doesn't belong to the district attorney. It doesn't belong to the government attorney. It belongs solely to the defendant himself. And if the defendant does not want to take a plea, you don't have the right to try to force him to do that. Okay? So to tell somebody to take a plea before the evidence is even in, that's ridiculous. That is dangerous as hell. Third thing is, let this man enjoy the right and the privilege of being presumed innocent until the evidence come and say otherwise. Anyway, I'm excited, as you can tell. This is Lady Justice. Just giving my little 2 cents about what's happening with Puff Daddy. Until next time, share, subscribe, and leave me a comment.